The village of Suma had always followed unwritten rules. Girls could work hard, but never boast. Girls could learn, but never lead. Girls could dream, but never say their dreams out loud. And for most of her life, Rena accepted these rules. Until the day she didn't anymore. It started with something small, a school competition. Rena had always been exceptional at mathematics. She could solve problems faster than any boy in her class, and even the schoolteacher relied on her to check his sums. But when the headmaster announced a village-wide math contest, she stayed silent. The other boys signed up immediately. "You should compete too," her teacher said. Rena hesitated. No girl had ever declared herself the best at anything before. She looked around, expecting disapproval, expecting whispers, but nothing came. So, she wrote her name on the list. That evening, her mother heard the news. "You signed up for the competition?" Rena nodded cautiously. "That's not for girls," her mother sighed. "You should focus on things that matter, like cooking, sewing, preparing for your future." Rena felt the familiar sting of doubt. She almost withdrew from the contest. But the next morning, her teacher pulled her aside and slid a small notebook into her hands. "Solve these problems," he said. "Why?" "Because you are good at this, and you don't need to hold back." She opened the book and saw complex equations, ones even the brightest boys struggled with. So instead of quitting, she spent her nights solving them all. On the day of the competition, the contest room was packed. Villagers crowded the school courtyard, eager to see which boy would win. Then they saw her. The murmurs started immediately. "She's competing, but she's a girl. Does she really think she can win?" Rena felt their doubts wrap around her. But then, the test began. She focused, calculated, answered everything faster than anyone else. And when the scores were announced, she had won. Silence fell. No one cheered. No one clapped. Not because they were unhappy, but because they had never seen this happen before. Then, one voice broke the quiet. She did it. It was a little girl watching from the sidelines. Suddenly, others followed. Mothers clapped. Girls whispered excitedly. Even some fathers looked at her with newfound respect. Rena hadn't just won a contest. She had broken a belief. From that day forward, Rena never hid her intelligence. She answered loudly in class. She helped other girls learn confidently. She no longer apologized for being excellent. And something strange happened. Other girls followed her lead. One girl, Mina, started answering loudly in history class. Another, Priya, entered a science fair. One by one, they stopped holding back. And suddenly, the boys weren't the only ones winning. Years passed, and Rena faced a new resistance. "You are too smart, too outspoken," people whispered. "Who will marry you?" She heard those words again and again. But she had learned something important. The world doesn't reward silence. It rewards courage. So instead of fearing rejection, she made her own path. She opened an education center for girls, teaching them math, science, and most importantly, confidence. At first, parents hesitated. But when their daughters returned home, answering boldly, solving sums effortlessly, dreaming fearlessly. They understood. Their daughters weren't too much. Their daughters were exactly enough. Rena never set out to change the village. She simply refused to shrink. And that refusal started a wave of change. So to every girl who has ever hesitated, who has ever dimmed herself to fit, who has ever feared saying, "I am good at this," don't hold back. Don't apologize. Don't wait for permission. Because when you claim your abilities, the world adjusts to them. And once one girl stands tall, others will rise behind her.